guys, and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a super easy Halloween recipe using just 2 main ingredients. This is actually going to be part of a new Halloween mini series I'm going to be doing, so let's get baking. So your 2 main ingredients are ready roll puff pastry and Nutella. You don't have to use Nutella, any spread will work, so you could use a regular chocolate spread, you could use Biscoff spread, you could use peanut butter. Ready roll puff pastry you can pretty much get from any supermarket. I think every supermarket in the UK does one, and then I know there's lots of variations in the US as well. So I'm going to roll out our puff pastry. Might need scissors for this. Yeah, we need scissors. Okay, so this has already been at room temperature for about 15 minutes. So hopefully it should roll out nicely without cracking. Okay, that looks good. This side is a tiny bit cracked, but that's absolutely fine. If your pastry does start to crack, then just let it warm up at room temperature for a little bit longer, otherwise you will have a big crack in your pastry and we don't want that. So the first recipe we're going to be making is mummy pastries. I'm going to slice this pastry here into 8ths. So grab a knife or a pizza cutter. I prefer to use a knife, to be totally honest. My pizza cutter, I seem to go everywhere, all over the place with it. So we're going to slice it vertically down the middle, and you can use like a ruler or something, or a tape measure to do this perfectly, but I'm gonna eyeball it today and just hope for the best. So I'm gonna cut this in half, again there, and again, ooh, not quite there, there. It's not quite perfect, but they're gonna have equal pairs. So these are gonna be our bases, and then this is gonna be our tops. Let's make the egg wash. For your egg wash, you just need 1 egg and a little bit of milk or water. So I'm gonna crack that into our ramekin here. Ramekin or a small bowl is fine. And then about a teaspoon of milk. Pour that in, this one's very full. And then just grab a fork, pop the yolk, and then just whisk those together until they're combined. Okay, amazing. Now I'm gonna set this aside so it's ready to use in a minute. Now we're gonna slice half of our pastry rectangles into strips. So these are gonna be our like strips that make up our mummy that go on top of these ones. So these don't have to be totally even. You could make some of them slightly thicker and some of them slightly thinner if you wanted to. Now grab your Nutella or your chosen spread, and we're gonna scoop about a teaspoon's worth, maybe a little bit more, into the middle of each of the 4 rectangles here. And then you're gonna smooth it out, but leave about a centimetre border around each of them. Okay, that's 1. What do you guys think of my Halloween costume? I tried really hard with it, as you can probably tell. I'm a black cat. I should have put on whiskers or something as well. Okay, there we go. So let's put the lid back on this. And we're gonna bring back our egg wash and a pastry brush. And you're just gonna brush the border that you've left, although some of mine is definitely a little bit thin. You're just gonna brush that around the edge, and that is just gonna help the pastry stick to each other. Okay, perfect. So set this aside because we will be using it again, and I'm just gonna turn these around. Now it's time to place our strips onto our Nutella to make our mummies. Let's place that one, let's give them a head, and then let's leave a little gap for the eyes, so the eyes can go about there. And as you can see, I'm just kind of crisscrossing them over each other, but you can really do this however you like. So if you wanna have some more straight, and if they need to be any longer, like if you're going a bit more diagonal, just pull the pastry really gently and it will stretch. Okay, so that is 1. So I'm gonna repeat this with the rest of them, and then we're gonna brush it again with egg wash. I'm I'm actually gonna transfer these to a cookie sheet now because I need to separate them. Then we'll do the egg wash. Okay, so I have my cookie sheet. So I'm just gonna pull the baking paper onto the cookie sheet so it's in the middle. And then grab is this a spatula? This is a spatula, isn't it? I just went blank. And you're just gonna move these around so that they're apart, so when they bake, they're not gonna stick together. Okay, perfect. So just make sure that all those edges are pressed down nicely so they stick and they're not gonna lift up when they're in the oven. And if you want to make them really neat, you can just grab your knife and just chop off any of the excess pastry so you have nice straight edges. Now they're looking nice and neat, I'm just gonna brush the tops with our egg wash. And this is to make them nice and golden brown and shiny. The egg wash is optional, by the way. If you really don't have an egg, they will still work, but it's recommended. Also, try not to get too much of your egg wash on your Nutella. Perfect, our mummies are all egg washed. So these are gonna go in the oven now for about 12 minutes, 180 degrees if you have a fan oven, 200 degrees if you don't have a fan oven, and then we will be back. We're back. Our mummies are fully baked and cooled down now. So as you can see, they're really nice and golden, they're puffed. They have sunk a little bit since they've cooled. So when they come out the oven, they'll be a little bit more risen than this. So we're gonna add the edible eyes. What I'm gonna do, a little hack for you, is I'm actually gonna add a little bit of melted Nutella into where you're gonna stick the eyes on. And this is just gonna make sure that they stick, and I mean, it's extra Nutella, like who wouldn't want extra Nutella? I've added so much Nutella to this one. The eyes are probably gonna sing. Now, for the edible eyes, I'm just gonna turn that around. Okay, so I have 8 edible eyes here. I've tried to find ones that kind of match each other. Some of them have bigger pupils than others. So I've tried to find ones that are a similar size. I got these ones from Sainsbury's, but again, most supermarkets will do edible eyes. I was about to say edible ears. Edible eyes around this time of year. So we're just gonna place those on into the Nutella. Ah, they're so cute. Now, I would love to say that these are optional, and technically they are, but obviously it's not gonna look as good if you don't add the edible eyes. People will probably look at them and say, what is that? So when I said 2 ingredients, I might have lied to you a little bit. These are more than 2 ingredients. But the 2 main ingredients are obviously the pastry and Nutella. Don't come at me. Okay, they are done. They are looking great, very spooktacular. So I think it's time we decapitate one of them and do the taste test. I'm gonna go for this one. I'm gonna call him Harry. He looks like a Harry for some reason. I'm gonna go for the extra Nutella-y bit. Yeah, it's so good. I just love pastry and Nutella together. That puff pastry, I swear, is one of my favourite things. And it still looks good. You could also dust these with icing sugar or drizzle over like a sweet glaze or something like that. They taste amazing on their own, so it's totally up to you. But that is the end of episode 1. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for episode 2. See you next time, guys. Bye.